Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read through for Tower of God chapter 605 or season 3 episode 188. As you may have noticed, I got the sound sounding better. I went back to the old settings from the old computer and it sounds like it did at the old one. I'd like it to sound better, sure, but at least it last week sounded really off, so at least it doesn't sound like that again. I think it just sounds fine. Again, I'd like it to be better, but it is what it is. I'll mess with settings at some point in the future when I feel like it. I'm recording an hour late because I just got home. It's Easter. Happy Easter to anyone who celebrates. I don't know how many cultures really celebrate that, if it's more of an Anglosphere kind of thing, since it's English in origin, I think. But yeah, happy Easter, and I can't take this screen seriously with the new setup because I can see the fish on I said it in the end of the update. The giant fish on the weight bench in the background is just hilarious. I keep looking in my camera, I keep looking at OBS and seeing this giant fish, and it really distracts me. But I'm excited to get into Tower of God. I guess the only things to really talk about before we start reading, I really enjoyed the video. Naya posted it this week, and I will leave a link to that. I already linked it everywhere in like the community tab and Discord and Twitter and everything. I'll leave a link here to the discussion that, you know, JD from the Otaku Fix, Ron Can, Joe, aka Dr. Bonehead, Naya D. Hemmings, and I think, yeah, it was us five. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anybody. The discussion that we had. It's a 3-hour video. It's really, really good. I enjoyed it. I watched all the way through it. I turned my volume down a little bit before recording because I thought I was too loud. And Naya and everybody was like, it sounds fine. I was a little quiet. Again, it sounds fine. So next time I know I'll not turn my input down. Next time we do something together. And I really do want to do more Tower of God stuff collaboratively with everybody else. Like I said before, I don't remember what I was going for there. Hold on. Either way, I did a big update video like yesterday, so go check out the update video if you want to know more about stuff coming in the future. There's a lot of stuff coming in the future. Beyond that, I guess there's not too much to say. I want to say thank you to Luck, and thank you to everybody who has said, hey, stay away from anything potentially spoiler related. So for the past couple of weeks, you can kind of tell. There are times here and there, like around when the Yurik and Luzlek stuff came out, when like people seemed really, really excited, and I was like, oh wow, something big must be happening. Then we eventually got to it 3 months later, and it was that stuff. And that was really exciting. And then for a while, I felt like it kind of chilled a bit. Like people were still talking, but it wasn't going crazy. And for the past like 3 or 4 weeks, it feels like things have been going crazy again. So I have to extra avoid things because I don't want to be spoiled. But that just gets me excited. I am not excited for the, 9 or so chapters we have until then. But apparently things are going to get really crazy. So that's nuts. I gotta really avoid spoilers though, so there's that. And anything, I guess just the Naya video and the update are the only thing I want to shout out. I went back to a big full daily schedule with videos as of last week with the new setup and everything, so that's exciting. But I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Oh, also, Dr. Bonehead, I guess I'll shout this out. He did a video talking about the blog posts and how canon they are or should be, and I thought it was a really, really, really good video. I think me and him mostly agree on things, but it got me thinking, so I wanted to give my own thoughts and opinions here, and it's what I said down in his comments as well. My opinion on the blog posts has always been, treat them like the rumors you would hear living in the tower. Like if you were somebody living in the tower, and a lot of people seem to have liked what I said about that. If you were somebody living in the tower, these are the rumors you would hear about the princesses or the family heads or Yurik and Bayek. This is just what you'd hear. When we actually get them in the actual story, like with Yama, their background might be totally different. Their story in the actual canon Tower of God story might be different, but it's usually not. That's the thing with the blog posts. For one, they're almost always true to canon, but the other big thing with the blog posts, and is one of the reasons that I think everybody reading Tower of God should read at least the early blog posts when they were more important, is that not only are they usually true, but also CU very often will just throw something out in the story as if you have read the blog post. Like he'll throw out a character or a concept and not explain it in the main story. And the only way that you'll have that context, the only way that you'll have that explanation is if you have read the blog posts, or at least read like the wiki or whatever. So that's one of those things. I think that's one of the big reasons, is just the way that CU handles it in the main story, the way that sometimes they'll just throw stuff out without explanation. So yeah, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Again, Dr. Bonehead's video was very good, and I would say check it out. But I just wanted to talk about that as well. And I just started, if you want to get in, I always shout out other Tower of God YouTubers as quickly as I can. Dr. Jace Attorney just started reading Tower of God. And when I say just started, I'm talking like Yu Han Sung's examination, like 3 videos ago. So very, very new reader if you want to be there. For somebody new reading, want to be there for their videos and everything. I will say what I always say: be kind, don't spoil people, be a good example, be a good person, just be cool. But I wanted to shout them out as somebody new who's reading. And I guess that's it. Long Haku intro aside, I always like to just sit and talk to you all a bit about Tower of God before we start. And big new thing for us to start reading. For a while now, I have been using that filter over Tower of God, and it's looked kind of ugly. It hasn't looked very good. I mentioned last week that I don't really like it, but I hadn't made anything new yet, and since I hadn't made anything new yet, I was just sticking with it last week because I had to hurry up. But I now have made something new, so we now have this for me to read with, and I think it is a lot better. I think that it's a lot easier to see. Like, I still have the filter over it because I'm not allowed to fully show things, but I think this is a lot easier to see what's going on through. I think it looks nicer, so let me know what you all think. But this will be the new way for reading. You'll have the chapter number up there for if we do, for whatever reason, multiple chapters at a time. Usually for other series, that's more pertinent, not really for Tower of God. But either way, this is going to be the new way of doing things. And when I did Kubera, it was kind of hard to see through the filter. I have the filter for Tower of God, Omniscient Reader, and Kubera the same. For Kubera, it was hard to see through. For Omniscient Reader, it looked fine. And now for Tower of God, I haven't had to tweak it any. It looks fine for Tower of God. So I don't know what was going on with Kubera. I guess Kubera, I'm going to have to lower the opacity. But even if I flip it over here, I'll let you all see it. That was the 6. The 6 disappeared. That was the wrong element in OBS. Let's see. I have them labeled as like Tower of God, Omniscient Reader, Kubera, etc. And I still messed that up. Let me remove the Tower of God filter, put on the Kubera filter, and it looks fine. So I don't know what was going on with the Kubera video this week. But either way, I'm going to stop wasting your time and get to reading. Let's flip things over. We got a violence warning at the beginning, and let's get into this. We start off with Yama, like we ended with last time, and Yama is one of my absolute favorite characters, so to see him get to do something cool would be just very, very nice. Looks like I'm not too late. I'm always excited to see Yama. Relax, everyone. The King of the Beastkin has arrived. Season 3, Enkidu 5, we're still sticking, with the Enkidu title. You just randomly appear out of nowhere and call yourself king? Stop messing around and help us. We have Doom yelling at him through the pocket. You insult my dignity. Where the heck have you been this whole time? I was just sleeping. You were what? And I guess, sorry, my throat. This is really in character for Yama. In the hope of gaining a hint about how to achieve complete transformation, I entered the lighthouse that Yusracha gave me. So we went into the lighthouse. Is this rice pot trading, but for Yama? Inside the lighthouse, there was a dome-shaped building that looked like a cauldron. I opened the door and went inside. Is that feline bastard trying to lay a trap for me? But I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. There was just a little bed in the room. And yeah, Yusracha body pillows. Ugh, I'm gonna throw up. With his face on it. That's hilarious. But as I looked at the bed, I was suddenly overcome by the urge to sleep. So I've been sleeping this whole time. That's it. You were sucking your thumb and napping while we've been out here fighting for our lives. So I guess maybe this is how he got Yusracha's part of the Fang, maybe? Hurry up and do something to help. Do you have any idea how urgent this situation is? Now, let me see. According to my infinite wisdom as king of the beastkin, I believe we have to go through that door. Gee, thanks for stating the obvious. Do you think you're some kind of genius for figuring that out? The problem is that we can't get anywhere near the door. Those massive Shinsu weapons are powerful enough to take out even high rankers that get close, or that get too close. And to make matters worse, the tower's most powerful light bearer is guarding the tower's most powerful light bearer? That's wild. Maybe they mean one of the tower's most powerful light bearers, because like Korean's one of those languages where like singular versus plural is a little bit difficult. But the tower's most is wild. Also, note how the shield is eye-shaped. That's something that I brought up with Richemont's lighthouse thingy. Like, note how it's eye-shaped. And we also have the Shipwan Ryu there, as well as the ancient weapon. Okay then, your complaint has been received, and I'm fully rested. It's time to warm up. Yama flexes his energy. We have this red Shinsu wrapping around. Is he trying to attack by himself? We got Proust, and those glasses are not doing him much good there. That fool. Is this a charging attack or a beam? He goes straight toward the middle. Okay. And the lighthouses start getting destroyed. He just pierced through the barrier. And it looks like he's demolishing the ancient weapon too. Everything gets destroyed. That wild son of a gun. What a weird statement. He did it. Yeah, he just charged in. Perfect. I feel so well rested after all that sleep. And of course, it might be because Yama's really, really strong, but it could also be that Yama's really strong, and the Fang is one of those things like White Spell, like the Essence of Bravery, Essence of Nothingness, whatever. One of those things that's a rule-breaking power. So if the Fang is a rule-breaking power and he has all three pieces now, again, that's a little bit of an assumption, but if he has all three pieces now, that's like full rule-breaker Yama, where I've always considered rule-breaking characters to kind of be like this tier above random people who are bound by all the tower's rules, and kind of a tier below actual full-on irregulars. So it's like Yama's fully entered that middle stage where characters like White and Caliban are. I feel so well rested after all that sleep. I'm getting closer to achieving the power I want. What are you talking about? What do you mean, what do you mean who? Okay, Enkidu is just full-on dropping paragraphs now. You two used to be so close, and yet you sound like you're talking about a stranger. What are you trying to say? Okay, so whoever died was close, and on the whole V and Arlen thing, one thing that I think is worth mentioning is, like I've said a bunch, I've been going back through and watching Amy Angel's old reactions from the Hell Train, and in the end of Floor of Death, remember, Gaston says, oh yeah, you're the child of V. V was the worst person I ever met, or something like that. So it isn't V here, because Gaston apparently remembers V. So Gaston does remember V. Also, there's the fact that I didn't remember this at all, but on the hidden floor, Yu Han Sung mentions V. So it's crazy that Yu Han Sung knew about V too. But, you know, either way, continuing on, whoever they're talking about that Gaston forgot isn't V at the very least. Wait. Have you forgotten who died that day? Okay. And everything that happened? And like he's getting a real laugh out of this. He starts choking and bursts out laughing even more. You people are hilarious. You call me a monster. You banish me from your sight. You live in your own little isolated world. And now you don't even remember who it was anymore? You two are a couple of clowns. Okay, Enkidu's kind of winning me over. This speech is kind of hilarious. I might... Am I going to start being an Enkidu stan? Just unapologetic fan of the ugly floating head. We have the flame coming from Gastong's fingertip now. And then he burns Enkidu again. Gotta feel bad for Enkidu too. Enkidu is a victim in all of this, really. Of Traumare's hubris and meddling with life and such. He's screaming as he burns. I'm sure of it. I don't know exactly why, but he doesn't remember what happened that day, and until he finds out the truth, he can't kill me. Ah, over there. I need to get over to that fragment. Okay, very odd. Again, we don't know what this, like, jello body stuff is all about to begin with. You can't do it. Unless you intend to kill me, you can't stop me. So Enkidu is actually very intelligent. He isn't just some, like, beast that's been given the ability to speak, but he's, like, truly working out deep inner stuff about Gastong, like betting on the fact that Gastong won't kill him until he finds out the truth, and, like, working out that Gastong really doesn't remember and all of that. So he is, like, straight up actually intelligent. You can't be serious. Holy shit. And then that bastard. He's almost completely burnt apart. Maybe Gastong just doesn't care that much. He really killed me. I guess it's been so long since we last met that you forgot what I'm like. So, really, okay. I'm still the same as ever. A merciless, four-eyed psychopath. So again, Gastong's just a shitty guy. This is wild. So this completely changes a lot of what's motivating and keeping Traumare in check. A lot of what's keeping him in check is now destroyed along with Enkidu, if Enkidu is really actually dead. And we still don't have the information given to Gastong about who died, so the only person who should really truly know here is Baum, who has the memories from the book and from Leviathan. So Baum really holds all the cards here, which is questionable, because A, we as readers don't know, and B, how is that gonna actually, like, in practicality, how is Baum having the memories really going to play into this grander battle? Does Baum just hold the information hostage from them to make them stop fighting? If he does make them stop fighting, then they still would probably want the information, so they're kind of trapped at a stalemate. If Baum doesn't give them the information, then it's like, okay, well, we'll just fight, screw it. In order to get Baum to give up the information, because they're family heads. Even if Baum can somehow bust out God irregular powers to stand against them, all of Baum's allies can't. They're still family heads. And then, if Baum does give them the information, then they can maybe use that information and say, okay, now we want to fight more. Or maybe the information just makes everybody friends and they all make up. Who knows? But yeah, how does that work? Enkidu dying like this, though, is wild. That changes a lot. If it's true. But then again, if it's true, Enkidu could still somehow survive, for all we know. You darn fool. Just the I know it should be damn, but just what a crazy bit of censorship. Why can't they just say damn? That's such a weird bit of censorship, especially with, like, seeing this guy get burnt apart, but you can't say damn. I was confused for a second, because what's the word I'm looking for? Like, logically here, my next idea, like, when I scrolled down and saw this, I was like, you dead fool, makes sense for the next sentence. But then I'm like, why would they be censoring the word dead? And I'm like, oh, it's you damn fool. It's your own fault for getting on my nerves. I suppose I don't have a choice now. I'll have to find the irregular, since he's the only person with the memory of what happened. Come on, there must be a way out of here. We go back to Rachel and Hayura. What should we do? I don't see a way out. Rachel looks down. I can't believe this was only a replica. And also, yeah, the fact that this is a replica, so they are straight up replicating something that allows you to use Shinwan Ryu, and also the fact that Gustang got the workshop to replicate it means that the workshop has this technology now. It's almost time for the showdown. According to Second-in-Command Belaru's plan, Bomb and his gang should have arrived by now, so we can get out of here. It's weird to see Rachel calling Belarir by his full title and all, and she brings up her command lighthouse. I'll try to get someone to come here. Right? Maybe we'll get Akryung or something? Inside the sprout. Okay, Kun's looking at his piece. I can't tell what that is. Is that just the turtle? Kun. I see. Yeah, it looks like he just got the turtle, so Kun is the pawn. So I'm a pawn. Huh. Being a pawn doesn't really suit me. I thought of anyone, my predictions are that Kun would have been like the king or queen. Being a pawn doesn't really suit me. But I guess I should be grateful that I'm not the king at least. Now then, let me see how I can use this to my advantage. And then Dumas, okay, of all people, shows up where Kun's at. What's this? And then Rak has the octopus. The octopus was... I'm struggling to remember where all the pieces were. I think that one was the rook. So, Bomb is the queen, Kun is the pawn, and Rak is the rook. So the king is someone between Tiara, Goruro, which is a wild one, and Andrasi. Right? It looks like food, but it's white. Is it white chocolate? He tries to bite on it. God damn, this isn't food. I almost broke my teeth. Again, not just the censorship, but why is Rak being treated like such an idiot? He senses something. What's going on? Are they fighting? And he rushes off, leaving the piece behind. Kun's running. Again, should he physically be able to run even a step from Dumas? Shit. There's no way I can trick this guy. Step aside, turtle. Okay, we have Rak coming in. Launching the spear past Kun. Straight to Dumas, who dodges. And then we see Rak again with the Mad Shocker. Rak, what's up with him? Okay. Is that turtle really human? At this point, I think it's safe to say he's not human. And then we get back to Rachel typing. Please, someone answer. Please. Come on, Goruro. Okay, Goruro as the manta ray, so he's the... I think the manta ray was the bishop, right? You're the one who gave me this opportunity. Help me out here. A bishop. It's the kind of piece that looks important. So, I guess maybe we'll have King Andrasi and Knight Tiara. I mean, it might be the other way around since Tiara is actually Popodao. But that's an interesting setup. It's the kind of piece that looks important, but it's not strong enough to decide its own fate in the end. Just like me. Oh? Can you come get me? I'll tell you where I am. If you do that for me, I'll invite you back to that room, back to the group chat. Goruro is a really interesting character. He, I mentioned it before, got some of the most screen time in the post-hiatus, and we're still seeing a lot of Goruro. This is no time to get sentimental. My goal is to kill the family heads. Wouldn't it be so wild? I mentioned, like, what if revolution succeeds and Traumerei gets taken out and Kirin ends up as the family head? But then also it's like, what if the family is totally falling apart and the only one who can keep it together is Lobanon and Lobanon becomes family head? But what if it's none of that? What if we straight up like end up with, I know he looks a ton like Traumerei, probably the most Traumerei looking of his children that we've seen. What if we straight up end up with Lopobia family head Goruro of all people? To kill the family heads, I'm gonna bring down those bastards and their unfair power for causing the death of my family. So then, I mean, he might not be Traumerei's direct child. We know he's sibling, probably, to Purpur, who was also a former branch leader. But I wonder if they were maybe related to the branch who died in the tank below the hotel, like within the family's floating castle, battleship, whatever, because he did seem to have personal grief about that whole story. Alright. We're seeing something else within the sprout. Okay. The fragment of Enkidu surviving. Oh no. If I don't do something soon, I'm done for. I'm losing the life force I received from my master. I wonder if we will actually get Rachel as the host for Enkidu, because maybe she wasn't strong enough before, but maybe this tiny little fragment that remains is going to go into Rachel, almost kind of like the Red Thrissa, because remember, I just remembered it after, again, re-going through the Floor of Death. The Red Thrissa's whole goal was to basically get revenge against Enryu, so what its plan was to just use Heljo, to hitch a ride inside of Heljo in order to escape the Floor of Death, and then go track down Enryu. But then, after the whole Heljo stuff, whatever was left of the Red Thrissa jumped into and hid inside of Bomb, and it succeeded in basically riding Bomb outside of the Floor of Death, and now that it's escaped the Floor of Death, it'll be very interesting whenever the Enryu stuff gets wrapped back into the main story. Its whole goal, the Red Thrissa's whole goal, was to track down Enryu. So now, how is that going to work now that it's inside of Bomb? So much like that happened, I wonder if the remnants of Enkidu is going to hide within Rachel. I have to find someone to transfer this life force to. Goruro, again, Goruro of all people. Do we end up with a family head Goruro? I see someone. And it goes to Goruro. Huh? His eyes start getting all bloodshot. And then... Okay. We have the loom sound effect. You're finally here, Traumerei. You of all people shouldn't forget the truth. And then we end. What an interesting chapter. There are a lot of things to think about. Yeah, I talked about most of it during the actual reaction itself. There's a lot to think about, and I feel like anything that I didn't already cover, anything that I didn't already sorry if you find it annoying, stop reading in the middle of the chapter to talk about, is stuff that I can't really discuss too much because I need to wait. I need to wait and see what happens next, where we go in these next couple chapters. I'm so excited, because this stuff is really fun. This stuff, especially this chapter, there's so much, like I said, so much to think about, so many different things going on with different characters that I enjoy. And for the next, like I said, probably half a dozen or so chapters, I'd imagine we're still dealing with this stuff. Because what else do we have to deal with? We have a lot of characters we're juggling, but pretty much all of the important ones are kind of here now. It's weird that Yurik and Luzlek haven't shown up yet, but then again, Luzlek is waiting to kind of be what Yurik said, be the hyena, the scavenger that comes in at the end. And then Yurik is also going after a different target, and if that is Revolution, if that is the boss, they haven't shown up yet. But again, people have been really, really hype. Seemingly, people have been typing a lot for the past 4 weeks or so. So again, All of this stuff is really cool, really important, and then apparently there's going to be even bigger things happening, and that is extremely exciting. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens in the future. I discussed as much as I can here now. Let me actually remove this to show the credits while I'm talking, because I'm just going to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Like if you liked the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this chapter or my first thoughts and reaction to it. Tell me what you think of all of this. Again, we can talk here. If you want a link to the Discord server, it is free and open for anyone. Just ask and I can give you a link. My hair's falling all out. Sorry, I just bumped my mic. That might have been loud. If it is, I'll edit it out. But yeah, thank you. We can talk on Discord. If you want a link to the server, just ask. We can talk on Twitter. We can talk here in the comments. Wherever you want to. It's totally cool. And yeah, if you want to help support the channel, you can drop a super thanks down below. No pressure. But if you want to not only support, but also get a shout out at the end of every video and get One Piece videos a bit early, then you can hit join down below to become a channel member. You can go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description to that to become a patron. Huge, massive thank you to people who have done that and who currently do that. Thank you so much to patrons and members. Thank you to Chosen Regular Evan Hawley, Magical Girls, FR Nono, Smeller Dog and Abyss Knight, Cheriton Student David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element Pate Ardialo. Thank you all so much for watching. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.